Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University's Army ROTC Eagle Battalion Spring 2022 Commissioning Ceremony. I am Cadet Charles Mahalik, and on behalf of the Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moyer, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, friends, and family of the Eagle Battalion. At this time, please rise for the posting of the colors and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by the Acapellas and the invocation by Father Tim Daly. Today's ceremony will be an indoor ceremony with indoor protocol, and only the color guard will be rendering a salute.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming,
and the rocket's red glare,
the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. O God, we humbly ask your blessings upon all who are gathered for this commissioning ceremony today, especially for those being commissioned into the United States Army. May the mantle of leadership excellence be placed on these soon-to-be second lieutenants who have worked hard for many years to prove themselves worthy of this honor. Help them to strive for integrity first. Guide them to serve others and our nation before themselves. Give them the determination to perform with excellence all they are called upon to do. May they always remember our nation's motto, "In God we trust." Bless the families and friends of these cadets who gather to celebrate with them today. We ask your grace and your blessing upon our speaker today, Major General Robert Emerson, as he shares his experience, wisdom, and advice to these new officers. With hearts filled with gratitude and pride, we thank you for these new officers. Watch over us as we witness this commissioning ceremony and grant us your blessings and peace. Amen.
Please be seated. Seeing as today is Mother's Day, we would like to honor all mothers present by giving you a red rose. If you could please stand to be identified. Thank you for being here on your day. As we celebrate the commissionees, we wish you a happy Mother's Day. The Eagle Battalion The Eagle Battalion would like to welcome our special guest, Dr. Chris Grant, Associate Provost of Academic Support, Dr. Karen Gaines, Dean of College of Arts and Sciences, Lisa Collar, Assistant Provost and Dean of Students, Paul Bell, Assistant Dean of Students, Colonel Alan Dayton, Air Force ROTC, Retired Command Sergeant Major Ricky Burtz, Father Tim Daly. We would like to extend a special welcome to our guest speaker, Major General Robert L. Edmondson II, as well as the family and friends of our soon-to-be Army Second Lieutenants. Today's ceremony is comprised of three significant events: the administration of the oath of office, the pinning of second lieutenant ranks, and the time-honored tradition of the first salute and presentation of a silver dollar. By taking the oath of office and accepting their commission today, the cadets before you officially become Army officers, members of a long-standing profession, and officials of the United States government by the authority of the President of the United States. Pinning on the gold bars is an opportunity for family members and loved ones to participate in the commissioning ceremony, which begins a tradition that will follow these leaders at each of their future promotion ceremonies. Not only does this act signify the first time an individual wears the rank of a commissioned officer, it also acknowledges those that have helped provide support and helped along the way. By pinning the second lieutenant rank onto a uniform, friends and family represent the many individuals that were instrumental in developing an officer of character. The final part of the commissioning ceremony is a traditional first salute and presentation of a silver dollar. there are two prevailing theories concerning the origin of this tradition. The first dates back to the 19th century when Army officers were given a small stipend of $1 in order to pay the enlisted men upon completion of their training. The second is that newly commissioned officers can only buy their first salute, and then must earn every salute thereafter. Whichever theory you subscribe to, each of our commissionees has selected an enlisted member of the armed forces to render their first salute, and, as tradition dictates, present them with a silver dollar. The first salute will take place after the pinning of the second lieutenant ranks. Following the salutes, there will be a cake-cutting ceremony. Now, I would like to introduce to you the Professor of Military Science for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Army ROTC, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moyer.
I'm trying technology today. But while I do that, can we give another round of applause to the ACA Fellows for the great job they did on the national anthem? What a great start to a special ceremony. The administration of this university provides consequential support, not only to cadets, but the program as a whole. So I know Dr. Butler said that he couldn't be here today, but his regards are with us. Provost Moeller, the same. But Dean Kohler, thank you so much. All the faculty and administration, thank you so much for everything you do. I left out Dean Gaines intentionally because I wanted to make sure and provide some words to you. So you fought for us, you funded us, and you've mentored me. And during these last 3 years, I just want to say thank you so much. Okay, I'd also get in trouble if I didn't publicly thank my wife. She makes me a better man, a better husband, and what a way to share Mother's Day than to do 2 commissioning ceremonies today. So Michelle, thank you so much. Friends and family of the Eagle Battalion, we're so glad that you're able to join us here today and take part in this special occasion. It's always amazing how many times we find someone who has served in the past or is still serving that stands behind those enter the profession of arms today. If I could have all the veterans, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you for your service. Before I move on to the cadets in front of you, there's one more group that I'd like to recognize. We recognize mothers, university leadership, veterans. Now I'd like to focus on the cadre of the Eagle Battalion. Let me start with our government civilians. The government civilians, all of which have previously served in the armed forces. I'd like to start with our recruiting officer. So out of the 275 programs in the nation, Oak was selected 2 years ago as the best recruiting officer in the nation. And the only reason that he doesn't get it every year is just because they're trying to spread the wealth. We also have a Sergeant Van, as the kids call her. And she's up for a human resource assistant for for all of Cadet Command this year. Mr. Boykin, Mr. Gardner, who's already at camp, they're just amazing. Everything they do is phenomenal. On the military side, being shorthanded, Captain Parker, Captain Newell, Sergeant Avery, Sergeant Golder, and Sergeant Wood and Mr. Murphy do the work of staffs twice our size, and they do it second to none. And finally, our university employee, Ms. Nardalillo, can everybody please stand up and be recognized as well? And Kay, I see you here too. Thanks so much for coming. 40, 45, 46 years. How many was it? 47 years and retired, and how important it is for her to come back and be with us today. Thanks for coming. Now for the cadets, soon to be second lieutenants, Army officers and leaders in the greatest fighting force the world has ever known. I'm so thankful for the time that we have grown together. I remember our first time together just across the quad in Henderson Welcome Center. We were both brand new, me as a PMS, and you trying to figure out college and this Army thing at the same time. And now we're here on the brink of a new adventure. I have no doubt that you are ready to succeed in the next phase of life, just as you have here. I am blessed to have been a part of your growth and development. As we get ready to take the oath of office and pin on your rank, I want you to think about what it means to swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. I know that you're ready. You're prepared to excel, just as you've done. Allow me a minute to talk about just a few of your accomplishments. For the last 4 years, you have been in the top 3 from 6th Brigade for the MacArthur Award, which recognizes the best program, Army ROTC program in the nation out of the 40 and 6th Brigade. You've also, and you won one time during those 3 years for the first time in this program's history. You've earned the opportunity to compete in Sandhurst Military Skills Competition for 3 of the last 4 years. Over the last 3 years, you have produced more outstanding and excellent ratings at cadet summer training than any other program in the brigade. You've earned the parachute badge, the air assault badge, the jungle tab, completed mountain warfare school, and earned the German Armed Forces proficiency badge. You have encouraged each other, and you have fought to keep each other accountable. And here you stand as the largest commissioning class in recent program history with 60 new second lieutenants. Now, for those of you that are counting, there's only 27 here today, but that also includes the rest of our program that's at Stetson and those that commissioned in the fall. In total, over the last 4 years, you've been a part of 202 second lieutenants, which is only second to the senior military colleges for commissioning officers into the Army. Today, however, we're honored to have Major General Edmondson as our guest speaker. His program is in your bio, and I would encourage you to review it. We're very lucky to have a leader like him with us here today. General Edmondson's career is a story of developing leaders and mission accomplishment. Sir, thank you for coming and providing your insight with us today and giving us a brief window into your success as we commission these 27 lieutenants.
Well, good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day it is. And it is wonderful, wonderful to be here with you right now. You know, I've been a part of a number of ceremonies over the course of my 30-plus year career. And to be quite honest with you, I've struggled, when I think back, I've struggled to think about what was the topic that the speaker spoke about that day. And I've had an even more difficult time trying to realize or recall exactly who the speaker was. And so I'm going to do my best not to remind you of me, but I'm going to do my best maybe to give you just a little bit of something to take with you as you move on to your next assignment. And maybe you might remember 1 or 2 words that I've said here today. But nevertheless, good morning, everyone, to our distinguished guests, to our faculty and leadership. Lieutenant Colonel Moyer, Rob, really want to thank you for inviting me to be here today, and I really, really am excited. To the cadets, to the cadre, alumni, faculty, staff of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and all who participate in this program, know that I am very appreciative for you to provide me with an opportunity to be a part of your special day. You know, it's a privilege to address the Eagle Battalion. And as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'm certain that this is the best battalion around. I must first, again, reiterate thanking the university for hosting this very important event and for supporting our long-standing relationship that this university, have with the United States military. You know, by partnering with a number of other universities, 3 other universities in particular, Stetson, Bethune-Cookman, and Dayton State College, you know, the Embry-Riddle ROTC program ensures that as many students as possible have a chance to partake in this outstanding leadership opportunity. Each of these schools understands the importance behind developing strong Army leaders who embrace the Army values, and they are loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and of course, personal courage. Now, before we get to the true honorees today, and those are the cadets that are on either side of the stage here, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank and reiterate dear thanks to the families that have joined us here today, the veterans that have joined us here today, and all that have taken part in building this next generation. I'm sure you've heard the old adage that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a community of family, friends, and instructors to make an officer. So thank you to each and every one of you for the hard work that you've invested in getting these soon-to-be second lieutenants to this pivotal moment. I'd also like to offer a special hello and thank you to the mothers, and congratulations to the mothers that have joined us here today. Thank you for spending your Mother's Day here with us as we commission these second lieutenants. I could only imagine your feelings as you watch your children prepare to enter the military. And so again, thank you for your time, thank you for your love, thank you for your care, and happy Mother's Day. And now for the real reason that we've gathered here today, our cadets. 27? There we go. 27 cadets taking the oath, pledging their lives in service to this country. Think about that for just a moment. 27 pledging an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States on behalf of this great country. 27 young adults who have joined the less than 1% of American population who serve in the military. 27 men and women dedicating their lives in defense of the Constitution of the United States. 27 men and women connected through their service who have each overcome personal challenges and obstacles along the way to get to where they are to share in this moment. So please give them another round of applause. So to be clear, and to save you a little bit of time, my message today is pretty simple. My message today is derived from having stepped in potholes. My message today is derived from watching others succeed. And my message today is also derived from times in which maybe I didn't necessarily have everything go my way. So I'd like to save you a little bit of time and tell you right now, in no uncertain terms, with clear and concise messaging, you belong. You belong where you are today, and you belong where you're going tomorrow. And don't you ever question whether you belong. So cadets, I'd like for you to think for just a moment about how this journey towards becoming an Army officer began for you. A few years ago, some of you were playing baseball, running track and field as high school seniors. Some of you were working as realtors or fundraising at Precinct Pizza. Isn't that right, Cadet Ramazzotto? Some of you were skydiving solo, like Cadet Lake, or dreaming of becoming an astronaut, like Cadet Pyatt was and still is. I'd like for you to think back 4 to 5, perhaps even more years ago, prior to your acceptance to this esteemed university and your journey, prior to your journey into ROTC. Think about all the hard work that you've done up to this moment. The assignments, the applications, the physical training, the challenges, late nights, early mornings, homework, tests, and exams. And I want you to know and to really understand that you have absolutely earned where you sit today. The energy and the dedication that it took to get to today's commissioning. That's through preparedness. The acceptance into this program, well, that's opportunity. Yes, I want you to remember the factors that motivated and inspired you to begin this journey in the first place. Tuck those motivators, those signs of inspiration into your pocket and keep them close. I'd like for you to keep the pros close. I'd like for you to keep the cons even closer. Use the same energy that you applied when you excelled into and through this program as you continue your Army careers. Leverage those same talents that pushed you towards success at Embry to continue to prepare you for that next opportunity. You know, as I think about preparedness and opportunity, I'm reminded of when I was back in college as a transfer sophomore at my alma mater, Frostburg State University, where I was on the football team. And I worked hard over the course of the summer. I was in peak physical condition. I tried my hardest throughout each of the two-a-days, practicing the hours, putting my best step forward. And at the end of summer camp, more senior players were on the A team. And so as the first game began, I was on the sideline with many of the others, cheering my team on. But what I didn't know what was about to happen, what I didn't realize was that within that first quarter of that first game, a more senior player took the wrong step. They didn't hurt themselves. They didn't help the team, but they didn't hurt themselves. And little did I know that there was someone out there that was watching. And they turned and they said, just like that, Edmondson, you're in. And I share this with you. I share this with you because it stuck with me over the past 30 plus years of my Army career. And through that experience, and others, through that experience, I learned three major things. The first is that there is no substitute for preparedness. I would never have been put into that game if I hadn't worked so hard as you have worked through your college days. And throughout the 30 years of my Army career, I've continued to prepare. And while I may have taken off the helmet, I have never stepped off the field in terms of continuous preparation for what's next to come. Second, you don't necessarily own the opportunity. So what do I mean by that? Well, another way to look at opportunity is to think about timing. And you'll hear all about timing throughout your professional military careers, the importance of timing. Not all of us will have the same jobs. Not all of us will have the same bosses. Not all of us will go to school at the exact same moment. And so there's the timing. But timing and opportunity mean nothing if you are not prepared. You'll never necessarily know when the opportunity will strike, which brings me to my third point. Finally, you don't know who's watching. During training camp, I had no idea that the coach was watching me so closely, and that he was looking at his young transfer that had come in, and he watched him work. But guess what? He absolutely was looking, and when he made the call, the opportunity was in front of me. I had prepared myself. And I can tell you as leaders right now, as you move to your next duty assignment, your leaders, just like I'm looking at you now, your leaders will watch you. And what's important here is that they will only see what you show them. So it's up to you to ensure that you've prepared yourself for whatever opportunity that leader may present to you, unbeknownst to anyone. So I congratulate you for your hard work and resilience that you've shown so far. I encourage you to continue to prepare. I implore you to continue to strive for greatness, to stay hungry, to stay humble. Never stop wanting, never stop striving, and never stop reaching. Because you never know who's watching. and when the bell of opportunity is going to ring. Now, to close out the football story, in terms of who's watching, the coach continued to watch. And he continued to watch Cadet Edmondson spend more time in ROTC than he did perhaps in the weight room. And he continued to watch Cadet Edmondson move off to summer camp and come back. And perhaps his condition was a little bit different. Maybe it looked a little bit more like being a soldier than a safety at that time. And so just as quick as the opportunity came for him to say, "You're in," the next year, he said, "You're out." And that was simply due to my preparedness. Now, to be quite honest with you, I'm glad that he made that call and things turned out pretty well. I have no illusions of having served or played in the NFL. And so I thank Coach for making that call, because I'm talking about him today. Now, you're about to start your next great adventure. 19 of you are moving into active duty, 6 into the National Guards, and 3 into the reserves. Branches ranging from aviation, Corps of Engineers, cyber, quartermaster, infantry, medical service corps, military intelligence, field artillery, military police, and of course, the Signal Corps. I've served in 2 of the branches that I've just listed for you, finally as a Signal Corps officer before becoming a general officer. I am so excited for each of you in your new careers. I do know that at the beginning of any great adventure, a transition can be a little scary. And frankly, it can cause you to question yourself. But as I said before, you're exactly where you belong. And it is that simple. You know, I was taught to blossom where I was planted. In the Army, you're going to be planted a lot of different places. You're going to move a number of times. I think we're up to 14 right now. When we get various assignments and roles, we're asked to do all types of things, live in unknown locations sometimes. And it's essential that we blossom wherever we planted. Whatever that branch is, whatever that detail is, whatever that assignment is, it's essential that our preparations not only include what we're passionate about, but also they include what we may be tasked to do. And in 30 years, you could be standing right here in front of the next generation with a little smile on your face because you never planned to be here, but you were always prepared. But to be clear for each and every one of us here, we stand on the shoulders of giants that have come before us. General Eisenhower, General Marshall, General Powell, General Dunwoody. And just as those great leaders belong, so do each of you. In each of those branches, in each of those details, in each of those assignments. You belong here today as second lieutenants. You belong as captains when that time comes. You belong as colonels a little bit later once you've got more experience. And you, frankly, belong to become general officers. If you take nothing else from my remarks, I hope that what you take away is that you belong. You have a seat at the table. You may not be the fastest or the tallest or have the highest SAT scores. We may not be the picture of what a poster should look like, but the reality is if you prepare yourself and you earn it like you did earn to be here where you are today, then when those opportunities arise, and they will be yours for the taking. Use the resilience you've developed through life's experiences, the opportunities made available to you by your family and your friends. And what you've demonstrated here at Embry-Riddle to earn a commission, to never waver because you do belong. You belong in leadership. You belong in the boardroom. You belong wherever your heart drives you to bloom. I am so excited for you because I know how good it feels to use your college and life's experience, both on the field and off the field, as a source of motivation for future opportunities. Today marks the first day in the latest chapter of the life that you are writing. You are postured for greatness. And so as I close today, I want to personally thank you again for wearing the cloth of the nation. I wish you all the absolute best as you go out to lead this world's greatest army. You have been well prepared by the cadre right here to carry forward, and I am confident in your success. Thank you. May God bless you all. People first, winning matters, Army strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will start the commissioning of the cadets by administering the oath. At this time, Cadet Marble will present Major General Edmondson with a gift signifying our appreciation for his presence here today. Cadet Marble was ranked 113 out of over 6,000 cadets in the 2022 National Accessions Cohort and was #1 in the Eagle Battalion for the 2022 cohort. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will start the commissioning of the cadets by administering the oath. If you are administering the oath for any of our commissionees, please come forward. Cadets Toth and Savageau will be commissioned by Second Lieutenant Alex Ruiz. Cadets Clark, Flynn, and Colton will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moyer. Cadets Povio, Maharaj, and Verhey will be commissioned by Captain Courtney Parker. Cadet Ramazada will be commissioned by retired Chief Warrant Officer 4, Kenneth Ngasser. Cadet Slogenhop will be commissioned by First Lieutenant Amanda Madrid. Cadet Pyatt will be commissioned by retired Captain Richard Pyatt. Cadet Squire will be commissioned by Chief Warrant Officer 5, Mike Boyle. Cadet Stansel will be commissioned by Lieutenant Junior Grade Lawson Stansel.
Raise your right hand and repeat after us. I state your name. Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States in the grade of Second Lieutenant, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign or domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
We will continue the commissioning of the cadets by administering the oath. If you are administering the oath for any of our commissionees, please come forward. Cadet Alvarez Lamela will be commissioned by retired Lieutenant Colonel Kim Harrell. Cadet Cobb will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Robert Wooten. Cadets Marble, Hughes, and Santos will be commissioned by Captain Jason Newell. Cadets Roderick, Olson, Hensley, and Craig will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moyer. Cadet Coulter will be commissioned by retired Lieutenant Tom Wolf. Cadet Kim will be commissioned by Major Susie Park. Cadet Castagna will be commissioned by Major Jeremy Scanlon. Cadet Lake will be commissioned by First Lieutenant Shannon Lake. Cadet Groom will be commissioned by retired Major David Groom.
Raise your right hand and repeat after us. I state your name.
I, Thomas Craig. I, Nicholas Henson. I, Gavin Olson. I, Roderick.
Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States in the grade of second lieutenant, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
We will now continue the commissioning by recognizing our distinguished military graduates. Each year, distinguished military graduates are selected by the United States Army Cadet Command and represent the top 20% of all ROTC cadets nationwide. For the spring 2022, we had 8 cadets who achieved the following distinction. The first 4 are Second Lieutenant Nicholas Hensley, Second Lieutenant Gavin Olson, Second Lieutenant Andrew Groom, Second Lieutenant Matthew Lake. I ask those pinning these lieutenants and administering the first salute to please come forward. Second Lieutenant Hensley is from Merritt Island, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. He has branched active duty Signal Corps. Second Lieutenant Hensley will be pinned by Simone Plomer, Kurt Rush, and John Hensley. His first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Olson is from Pleasant Hill, California, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Global Conflict Studies. He has branched active duty military intelligence. Second Lieutenant Olson will be pinned by Jason and Kathy Olson. His first salute will be from retired Sergeant Jason Olson. Second Lieutenant Groom is from Nairobi, Kenya, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. He has branched active duty Medical Service Corps. Second Lieutenant Groom will now be pinned by Melissa and David Groom. His first salute will be from Sergeant Zach Abdul Aziz. Second Lieutenant Lake is from Merritt Island, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering. He has branched active duty aviation. Second Lieutenant Lake will be pinned by Tammy and Mark Strutcher. His first salute will be from retired Chief Warrant Officer to David Lake. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Moyer will present these new lieutenants with their commissioning certificates and distinguished military graduate certificates. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me for a round of applause for our distinguished military graduates. DMGs and parties, you may now take your seats. The last four distinguished military graduates are Second Lieutenant Nathan Verhey, Second Lieutenant James Toth, Second Lieutenant William Marble, Second Lieutenant Samuel Hughes. I ask those pinning these lieutenants to please come forward. Second Lieutenant Verhey is from Frankfort, Connecticut, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aeronautics. He has branched active duty Signal Corps. Second Lieutenant Verhey will be pinned by Tiffany and Titus Verhey. His first salute will be from retired Staff Sergeant Sean Kraus. Second Lieutenant Toth is from Sykesville, Maryland, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering. He has branched active duty infantry. Second Lieutenant Toth will be pinned by Lou and Pat Toth. His first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Marble is from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering. He has branched active duty infantry. Second Lieutenant Marble will now be pinned by William and Marcia Marble. His first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Hughes is from Brownsburg, Indiana, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. He has branched active duty military intelligence. Second Lieutenant Hughes will be pinned by Ben and Rachel Hughes. His first salute will be from retired Staff Sergeant Paul Lohr. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Moyer will present these new lieutenants with their commissioning certificates and distinguished military graduate certificates. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for our distinguished military graduates. DMGs and parties, you may now take your seats. We will now continue with the remainder of the Spring 2022 class. The first group is Second Lieutenant Amanda Alvarez Lamela, Second Lieutenant Brittany Cobb, Second Lieutenant Caden Coulter, Second Lieutenant Joanna Kim, Second Lieutenant Victor Castaño. I ask those pinning these lieutenants to please come forward. Second Lieutenant Amanda Alvarez Lamela is from Hollywood, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aviation Business Administration. She has branched aviation in the Colorado National Guard. Second Lieutenant Alvarez Lamela will be pinned by Ailina Lamela and Jorge Alvarez. Her first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Robert Wood. Second Lieutenant Cobb is from Kingsland, Georgia, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aeronautics. She has branched active duty Signal Corps. Second Lieutenant Cobb will be pinned by Veneral Thompson, Cassidy, and Kenneth Bailey. Her first salute will be from retired Petty Officer First Class James Flowers, Jr. Second Lieutenant Coulter is from Ponte Vedra, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Unmanned Aircraft Systems. He has branched active duty infantry. Second Lieutenant Coulter will now be pinned by Forrest and Jenny Coulter. His first salute will be from retired Sergeant John Rich. Second Lieutenant Kim is from Oxon Hill, Maryland, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. She has branched military intelligence in the Army Reserves. Second Lieutenant Kim will now be pinned by Deborah Kim and Jae-Wong Lee. Her first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Castano is from Monticello, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aerospace Engineering. He has branched Engineering Corps in the Florida National Guard. Second Lieutenant Castano will be pinned by Maureen and Donato Castano. His first salute will be from Senior Airman Gerardo Castano. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Moyer will present the new lieutenants with their commissioning certificates. Please join me in a round of applause for these newly commissioned second lieutenants. Commissionees and parties, you may now take your seats. The next group is Second Lieutenant Nicole Ramazzato, Second Lieutenant Gabriel Savaggio, Second Lieutenant Jacob Roderick, Second Lieutenant Kyra Santos, Second Lieutenant Thomas Craig. I ask those pinning these lieutenants to please come forward. Second Lieutenant Ramazzato is from Tampa, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aviation Business Administration. She has branched active duty Cyber Corps. Second Lieutenant Ramazzato will be pinned by Elias Moore and Christina Ramazzato. Her first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Savaggio is from Severna Park, Maryland, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Engineering. He has branched active duty infantry. Second Lieutenant Savaggio will be pinned by Darlene and Alan Savaggio. His first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Roderick is from St. Cloud, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. He has branched active duty armor. Second Lieutenant Roderick will be pinned by Sarah and Robert Roderick. His first salute will be from First Sergeant Frank Lucia. Second Lieutenant Santos is from the Bronx, New York, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aeronautics. She has branched active duty field artillery. Second Lieutenant Santos will be pinned by Damaris Del Toro, David Del Toro, and Deanna Bianco. Her first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Craig is from Bel Air, Maryland, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aerospace Engineering. He has branched military intelligence in the Montana National Guard. Second Lieutenant Craig will now be pinned by Amy and Kenneth Craig. His first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Moyer will present these new lieutenants with their commissioning certificates. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for these newly commissioned second lieutenants. Commissionees and parties, you may now take your seats. The next group is Second Lieutenant Brenna Pyatt, Second Lieutenant Ty Slogenhop, Second Lieutenant Travis Colton, Second Lieutenant Michael Flynn, Second Lieutenant Joshua Clark. I ask those pitting these lieutenants to please come forward. Second Lieutenant Pyatt is from Reno, Nevada, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering. She has branched Active Duty Engineering Corps. Second Lieutenant Pyatt will be pinned by Jill Zabo, Jada and Daisy Pyatt, and Carl Bailey. Her first salute will be from retired Sergeant Greg Pyatt. Second Lieutenant Slogenhop is from Youngstown, New York, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Aeronautical Science. He has branched Active Duty Aviation. Second Lieutenant Slogenhop will now be pinned by Kelly and Kenneth Slogenhop. His first salute will be from Corporal Justin Reisman. Second Lieutenant Colton is from Huber Heights, Ohio, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. He has branched Active Duty Quartermaster. Second Lieutenant Colton will now be pinned by Merritt and Cheryl Colton. His first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. Second Lieutenant Flynn is from Keensburg, New Jersey, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Space Physics. He has branched Active Duty Cyber Corps. Second Lieutenant Flynn will be pinned by Jennifer and Michael Flynn. His first salute will be from Petty Officer 3rd Class Fred Klink. Second Lieutenant Clark is from Morristown, Tennessee, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Software Engineering. He has branched Active Duty Cyber Corps. Second Lieutenant Clark will be pinned by Michelle Wood and Chris Clark. His first salute will be from Sergeant First Class Jonathan Avery. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Moyer will present these new lieutenants with their commissioning certificates. Please join me in a round of applause for these newly commissioned second lieutenants. Commissionees and parties, you may now take your seats. The last group is Second Lieutenant Kyle Povio, Second Lieutenant Vivek Maharaj, Second Lieutenant Paul Stansel, Second Lieutenant Luke Squire. I ask those pinning these lieutenants to please come forward. Second Lieutenant Povio is from Palm City, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Global Conflict Studies. He has branched military intelligence in the Army Reserves. Second Lieutenant Povio will be pinned by Kimberly Pallison and David Povio. His first salute will be from Sergeant Robert Florio. Second Lieutenant Maharaj is from Claremont, Florida, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. He has branched Engineering Corps in the Army Reserves. Second Lieutenant Maharaj will be pinned by Sunita and Ian Ramjetan. His first salute will be from retired Master Sergeant Andy Ramjetan. Second Lieutenant Stansel is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. He has branched Signal Corps in the North Carolina National Guard. Second Lieutenant Stansel will be pinned by Catherine and Dale Stansel. His first salute will be from Midshipman Heather Brown. Second Lieutenant Squire is from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and has earned a Bachelor's of Science in Homeland Security. He has branched military police in the Florida National Guard. Second Lieutenant Squire will be pinned by Mary Squire. His first salute will be from Specialist Greg Squire. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Moyer will present these new lieutenants with their commissioning certificates. Please join me in a round of applause for these newly commissioned second lieutenants. Commissionees and parties, you may now take your seats. Please join me in one more round of applause for the Army's newest officers. Please stand for the benediction by Father Tim Daly and remain standing for the singing of the Army song.
Let us pray. We thank you for these new second lieutenants. As they discharge the duties of their office, may they invoke courage, honor, and integrity to remain faithful to the United States Army values. Help them to protect the Constitution of the United States and be keepers of peace through their leadership and meritorious service in the United States Army. Protect those who are serving now and keep them from harm's way. Eternal rest grant to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. Watch over and bless these second lieutenants today and always. Amen.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Mount the brave, mount the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Gallop the cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Please be seated and remain seated until the completion of the cutting of the cake and the commissioning group photo. The photo will be available shortly after the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moyer and the Eagle Battalion, thank you for attending. Please join us for cake outside the doors in the hallway. That's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you. I messed up.